My beloved child, stop scrolling and listen closely, because what you are about to hear was not placed before you by accident. Something is moving behind the silence. Something is taking shape beyond what your eyes can presently see. Your soulmate is preparing for a change that will begin next week, and although they may not yet understand the full meaning of it, their heart has already started reacting. They have felt restless without knowing why. They have found themselves staring into the distance, replaying old conversations, questioning familiar choices, and sensing that the rhythm of their life is about to shift. Pause here for a moment, because heaven wants you to understand this clearly. Someone new is about to cross their path, but this encounter is not as simple as it first appears. Do not let fear decide what this message means before the truth has been revealed. The new person entering their world is not arriving merely to take a place. They are arriving to awaken a realization. There are moments when a stranger appears not as an ending, but as a mirror. There are encounters that reveal what has remained buried. There are conversations that force the heart to admit what it has been avoiding. And next week, your soulmate will find themselves standing in one of those moments. It may seem ordinary at first. A brief introduction. A shared responsibility. A casual meeting. A message they did not expect. Yet something about it will follow them long after the moment ends. Your soulmate has been trying to convince themselves that they are ready for a different direction. They have whispered inwardly that perhaps they should stop looking backward. They have told themselves that maybe the safest thing is to accept whatever life places in front of them. But beneath those thoughts, another truth continues to breathe. Your presence has not disappeared from their inner world. Your name still carries weight. Your memory still enters rooms inside their mind that they pretend are empty. They may not speak of this openly. They may even behave as though they have moved beyond it. But heaven sees the difference between what a person displays and what their spirit still holds. Something is waiting for you in this message, so do not turn away now. Your soulmate has been living through a quiet conflict. One part of them wants certainty. Another part of them wants honesty. One part longs for a simple path with no emotional risk. Another part knows that a simple path without true feeling would eventually become a prison. This is why their energy has been changing. They are not only preparing for an external event next week. They are approaching an inner decision that has been building for much longer than they realize. The person who crosses their path will appear at a time when your soulmate is emotionally vulnerable, though they may hide it well. This new person may carry confidence, warmth, charm, or an ease that makes conversation feel natural. For a few moments, your soulmate may feel relieved by the lack of history between them. There will be no old wounds to explain, no misunderstandings to untangle, no silence to interpret. It may feel refreshing. It may even make your soulmate wonder whether beginning again with someone unfamiliar could be easier than facing the emotions connected to you. But easier does not always mean deeper. Listen carefully, because this is where the story begins to change. As this person speaks, your soulmate will notice small things. A phrase will remind them of you. A certain expression will bring back an image they thought they had buried. A kindness will make them remember the way you once tried to understand them. Even laughter may carry an echo that leads them back to a moment shared with you. The new person will believe the conversation is about the present, but your soulmate's heart will quietly travel into the past. They will attempt to stop it. They will tell themselves not to compare. They will try to remain focused on the person in front of them. Yet the comparison will continue, because the soul recognizes emotional depth even when the mind tries to replace it. This is not because the new person lacks value. It is because their arrival will expose something your soulmate has avoided admitting. What they experienced with you was not easy to duplicate. Stay with this message until the end, because the most important part has not yet been revealed. Your soulmate once believed distance would make their feelings smaller. They believed time would soften the connection until it became manageable. They thought silence could erase the questions. But silence did not erase them. It magnified them. In quiet moments, your soulmate has wondered what you felt. They have questioned whether you misunderstood their withdrawal. They have asked themselves whether pride caused them to lose something sacred. They have imagined what they would say if they suddenly stood before you with nothing left to hide. And now, just as those thoughts have grown stronger, someone new is approaching. This is why the timing matters. The meeting next week is not random within this fictional spiritual journey. It is positioned at the exact point where avoidance can no longer protect your soulmate from truth. They are about to see the difference between attention and connection. They are about to recognize the difference between being noticed and being known. Someone new may admire them, listen to them, or express interest in their life. Yet when that interest reaches the places where your soulmate has been wounded, they may suddenly remember how deeply you once saw them. There was something about your energy that made them feel exposed and safe at the same time. That frightened them. You touched emotional places they had guarded for years. You noticed changes in their voice. You sensed when they were distant before they explained why. You understood certain silences without forcing them to speak. And because that closeness felt powerful, your soulmate sometimes treated it as a danger instead of a gift. They feared what they could lose. They feared how much influence love could have over them. They feared that if they surrendered fully, they would no longer be able to pretend they were unaffected. So they stepped back. They delayed. They overthought. They allowed outside voices, personal insecurity, and old disappointments to interfere. Perhaps they told themselves you deserved someone more certain. Perhaps they feared you would eventually see their flaws and walk away. Perhaps they chose emotional control over vulnerability. Yet every attempt to control the connection only deepened the ache beneath it. Next week, the new person will unknowingly touch that ache. At first, your soulmate may welcome the distraction. They may become curious. They may enjoy being approached without having to face the complicated emotions tied to you. But an unexpected question will be asked. It may be simple, almost harmless. The new person may ask whether your soulmate has ever truly loved someone. They may ask why your soulmate seems guarded. They may notice a sadness behind their smile. Or they may casually mention the kind of connection they hope to find. That question will change the energy. Your soulmate will pause. For a brief moment, they will not know how to answer. They may smile and avoid the truth. They may shift the conversation. They may offer a careful response that reveals very little. But inside, your image will rise with startling clarity. A memory will return. A moment they had not visited in months will suddenly feel recent. The sound of your voice, the look in your eyes, or the emotional weight of something you once said will enter their mind so strongly that they may lose track of the conversation in front of them. Do not skip what comes next, because the encounter is not the revelation. The reaction is. Later that day, when your soulmate is alone, they will replay everything. They will ask themselves why meeting someone new made them think of you more, not less. They will wonder why an opportunity for a different beginning awakened grief over an unfinished story. They will try to understand why your absence suddenly feels louder. And for the first time in a long while, they may admit that the connection was never truly closed. It was only left without resolution. Heaven has watched your soulmate struggle with this truth. They have wanted a clear sign, but they have also been afraid of what the sign would ask them to do. They wanted proof that their feelings were real, yet each time proof appeared, they found a reason to doubt it. They have looked for your energy in places where they knew it would not be found. They have tried to imagine a future that does not include you, only to feel an emptiness they could not explain. This new person may appear to offer an alternative path. But the alternative will reveal the value of what your soulmate nearly abandoned. There is another layer you must understand. Someone around your soulmate may encourage this new connection. A friend, relative, coworker, or trusted voice may say that this person seems perfect for them. They may praise the timing. They may suggest your soulmate should give the situation a chance. They may believe they are helping. From the outside, everything may appear uncomplicated and promising. Your soulmate may even agree. But agreement is not the same as alignment. They may say, maybe this is what I need. They may convince themselves that moving forward is a sign of strength. They may decide to remain open. Yet that night, when all voices fade and no one is watching, they will feel a pressure in their chest. They will sense that moving towards something new without facing what remains unfinished with you would not be courage. It would be escape. That realization will not come gently. It will arrive through contrast. The new person may ask questions about dreams, relationships, regrets, or the future. Your soulmate will answer cautiously, but each answer will lead them closer to the truth they have hidden. They may speak about loyalty and think of you. They may speak about trust and remember where they failed to communicate. They may speak about timing and feel the weight of opportunities they allowed to pass. The conversation will become a mirror, and your soulmate will begin seeing parts of themselves they have not wanted to confront. You have wondered whether they ever understood the effect of their actions. You have questioned whether your silence mattered to them. You have asked whether they noticed the space created when you stepped back. This message is not telling you that every thought in their mind revolves around you. It is revealing something more human and emotionally complex. They have tried to continue living while carrying a question they could not answer. What if they misunderstood you? What if they waited too long? What if the connection they feared was the connection they were meant to honor? These questions will intensify next week. The new person's arrival will not immediately push your soulmate toward a clear choice. At first, it may create more confusion. Your soulmate may feel guilty for comparing. They may wonder whether holding memories of you is preventing them from receiving something new. They may attempt to force themselves into emotional openness. But forced openness creates exhaustion. The heart cannot be commanded to forget what the soul still considers unfinished. And then something subtle will happen. Your soulmate may see a notification, hear a song, pass a familiar place, or encounter a detail linked to you shortly after meeting this person. The timing will feel strange. Too precise to ignore. They may dismiss it once. Then another reminder will appear. A repeated word. A shared symbol. A date. A name similar to yours. A conversation about a place connected to your story. The reminders will not frighten them. They will unsettle them because each one will seem to say the same thing: you cannot build honestly while hiding from your own heart. Your soulmate will begin to realize that the new person is not the only one crossing a path. They are crossing the path of their own truth. For months, perhaps longer, they have believed their greatest challenge was deciding who belongs in their future. But the real challenge is deciding whether they are willing to become honest enough to create the future they truly desire. Love requires more than longing. It requires courage. It requires communication. It requires the humility to admit when fear has shaped a decision. Your soulmate has not always possessed that courage. But something is changing. Next week will place them in an emotional situation where remaining neutral becomes difficult. They may sense interest from the new person. They may receive an invitation or suggestion that carries romantic possibility. Nothing dangerous or dramatic has to occur. The pressure will come from what the moment represents. Accepting the invitation may seem like a step away from you. Declining it may force them to admit why they cannot fully move forward. For a while, they will hesitate. They may seek advice from someone they trust. They may describe the new person while leaving your name unspoken. But the trusted person could notice what is missing. They may ask, "Are you interested, or are you trying to prove that you have moved on?" That question will strike deeper than expected. Your soulmate may become defensive. They may insist they are ready for change. They may say they do not want to repeat the past. Yet their voice may betray uncertainty. Because the truth is not that they fear meeting someone new. The truth is that meeting someone new might confirm that what they felt for you still has power. There is something else heaven wants you to see. You are not being asked to chase, compete, or prove your worth. The presence of someone new does not reduce your value. A genuine connection is not strengthened through panic. It is clarified through truth. Your responsibility is not to control what your soulmate encounters. Your responsibility is to remain rooted in self-respect, emotional wisdom, and peace. Do not allow this message to turn into anxiety. Let it become understanding. Your soulmate's path is revealing their own readiness. The new person may be kind. They may be sincere. They may have no harmful intention. But every person arrives carrying a purpose, even if that purpose is temporary. Some enter our lives to stay. Some enter to teach. Some enter to reveal what we already know but refuse to admit. This encounter will reveal. It will reveal whether your soulmate still runs from depth. It will reveal whether they confuse ease with destiny. It will reveal whether they are ready to stop hiding behind timing, circumstance, and fear. And it will reveal what happens inside them when your memory rises in the presence of someone who seems to offer a fresh beginning. Your soulmate will notice something surprising during their interaction. The new person may share a quality they once claimed to want. Perhaps they are direct, available, calm, confident, or emotionally expressive. On paper, the connection may seem ideal. Yet instead of feeling immediate certainty, your soulmate may feel an unexpected emptiness. Not because the person is lacking, but because the emotional language is different. There are certain ways you reached your soulmate that words could not explain. A silence between you could carry more meaning than an hour of conversation with someone else. A single look could make them feel understood. A small moment could remain in their memory for years. These are the details they attempted to minimize after distance entered the connection. They told themselves they had imagined the depth. They tried to call it temporary. They labeled it complicated so they would not have to call it significant. Next week, comparison will remove that illusion. The new encounter may feel pleasant, but it may not touch the same place. And when your soulmate recognizes this, they will become unsettled, not because they want to disrespect anyone, but because they will realize they cannot offer a full heart while part of it remains turned toward you. That evening may become one of the most important emotional nights they have experienced in a long time. They may sit alone in darkness, holding their phone, considering whether to reach out. They may open an old conversation. They may search for your name. They may reread words they once misunderstood. They may study a message and finally see the pain behind it. For the first time, they may recognize that your withdrawal was not indifference. It was self-protection. Your quietness was not proof that you stopped caring. It may have been the only way you knew to stop being hurt. This realization will deepen their regret. Your soulmate may remember moments when you gave them opportunities to speak honestly. They may recall times when you asked for clarity and received confusion. They may remember how you remained patient while they battled themselves. And when they compare that patience with the simplicity of starting over, they may understand that a new beginning cannot erase the responsibility attached to an old wound. This does not guarantee immediate action. Your soulmate may still struggle. Fear does not disappear the moment truth arrives. Sometimes truth makes fear louder before it makes courage stronger. They may worry that you will reject them. They may wonder whether too much time has passed. They may fear that you see them differently now. They may question whether reopening communication would heal or complicate things further. But one question will rise above the others. What if they do nothing and lose the chance forever? That question will follow them into sleep. They may dream of a doorway, a road, an unfinished conversation, or two paths separating. They may wake with a heavy feeling and a clear image of you. The dream will not give them every answer, but it will expose what their waking mind keeps hiding. They will understand that the fear of speaking is beginning to feel smaller than the fear of permanent silence. Stay close to these words, because a greater change is approaching beneath the obvious one. Your soulmate is not simply preparing to meet someone. They are preparing to meet a version of themselves that can no longer pretend. The person entering their life will activate a decision. That decision may not be visible immediately, but it will begin rearranging your soulmate's priorities. They will start asking what they truly want, not what others expect. They will begin separating genuine desire from emotional avoidance. They will question whether their next step is based on peace or pressure. And somewhere within that process, your name will become impossible to ignore. The outside world may interpret their silence as uncertainty about the new person. But their silence will actually be about you. They will be wondering what you are doing. Whether you have moved on. Whether someone else has crossed your path. Whether the window they assumed would remain open has quietly begun to close. That possibility will shake them. For so long, your soulmate has behaved as though time was unlimited. They believed they could return when they felt ready. They assumed the connection would remain where they left it. But next week, they will begin to understand that people are not waiting rooms. Hearts are not places one can leave and re-enter without consequence. Your love has depth, but your life also has movement. The thought of you moving forward may create urgency. Not possessiveness. Not fear alone. Urgency born from realization. They may see that while they were protecting themselves from vulnerability, they were also risking the very connection they wanted to preserve. The new person may invite them to meet again. Your soulmate may initially say yes, perhaps out of politeness or curiosity. But before the second encounter occurs, something will shift. A message may be drafted and deleted. A confession may be rehearsed but not sent. A trusted person may reveal that your soulmate has been speaking about you more than they realized. Or an unexpected piece of information about you may reach them at the exact moment they are trying to decide what comes next. And this information will change the meaning of everything. It may reveal that you never stopped caring in the way they assumed. It may show that you were hurt more deeply than they understood. It may confirm that you have been trying to heal rather than replace them. Or it may make them realize that another person has begun noticing your light. The moment your soulmate hears this, their hesitation will become unbearable. They will understand that the change coming next week is not only happening around them. It is happening within them. A door is opening, but not the door they expected. They thought someone new was arriving to lead them away from the past. Instead, this person may become the reason they finally turn back toward the truth. They thought a fresh connection would quiet their questions. Instead, it will intensify them. They thought moving forward meant forgetting. Instead, they will learn that real progress requires confronting what was left unresolved. And then, near the end of next week, your soulmate will be placed in a moment where they must choose between continuing the appearance of moving on or finally acknowledging what their heart has been saying. They will pick up their phone. They will find your name. They will begin typing words they have carried for longer than you know. At first, the message will be careful. Then they will delete it. They will try again, this time more honestly. Their hands may tremble. Their breathing may change. They will stare at the screen, knowing that once the message is sent, the silence between you can never return to what it was before. But just as they are about to make their decision, something unexpected will happen. The new person will contact them again with a revelation of their own, and what they say will force your soulmate to confront a hidden truth that has been following both of you from the beginning.